All right, we're back at MJ BizCon 2022. Another esteemed panel. We got a little flashing on the confidence matter. That doesn't help my confidence, but I'm a happy man because this is the crazy stuff that happens at MJ BizCon. Thanks to Jeff and the guys at Aspire, we have brought together Xzibit. We have brought together Jason Beck. We have brought together BigMike at the Aspire booth here at MJ BizCon. And you know, everybody knows who you guys are. So let's just get into the heart of the matter.
Yes.
You know, we'll talk about your current projects and what you guys are doing next and your businesses at the end. But people are out there, they missed MJ BizCon. We're sending these out next week. 48 hours at MJ BizCon. Who wants to go first? Interesting things, hot topics.
I mean, for me, it's always interesting to come to these conferences because you get to see who is now paying attention to the cannabis business side of things. But then you also get to see who's also taking care of the most important part of this whole thing is the plant. Is who's paying attention to advancing the medicinal side of things, who's invested in the culture of cannabis and not just the finance and the profit of cannabis. So it's a weird mixture. You get to see that every year. More and more people show up and inquisitive about what this is all about. And I love to see the innovations that are coming. People from different industries are coming into this, bringing best practices, like BigMike coming in with the advanced nutrient side of things. I mean, he can easily build a business off growing tomatoes and produce for the rest of his life. But the fact that he's gearing things towards cannabis is very impressive, and what he's been able to do on this side to enhance what we do with the plant, not just profit off of it. So it's dope to be able to come in and kind of know who's in, who's out. You know, some people are falling off, some people are staying in. It's been a roller coaster ride, but I'm glad to see how big it's going, how it continues to grow, and like the benefit of it, man, it's exciting to see.
So BigMike, when you're up, you got to talk about his brand, okay? Jason Beck.
Yes. Yes.
Well, we just switch off like that. Jason, you can talk about me, and I'll talk about you. I'm just kidding. Before we went on air, we were talking about forming a rock band, and I forgot. I was like, we have a great singer already.
Yeah,
so,
and 3 cowbells.
Yes.
Like, we can't do this.
That's it. We got 3 cowbells and a singer.
I would do the drums.
You drums?
Yeah, I would do the drums.
Oh,
yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yes.
Help me out there. Are there like
Yes.
high tones, low tones on cowbells? I don't know.
I have no idea, but I guess there are, sure.
Yeah, so.
I think it's all about the size of the bell.
Okay, so we got a bunch of cowbells, and then we got a drummer, we got a singer, and we're good to go.
Yeah,
That's it.
we're rolling.
Jason, what do you find at MJ BizCon?
You know, I just find it, I always get overwhelmed by this conference because it just keeps on growing and growing and growing. And I just sit back and I look at all of the money that it costs to put up one of these booths, and I think about the olden days, like with High Times Cannabis Cups and other events, and we would set up a 20 by 20 booth, or you know what I mean?
That's right. At the racetrack in Michigan.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And now when you look at this and the size, and I just start quantifying like how much people are paying for shipping to have all this equipment here. And I'm just like, I just get blown away that there's so much money getting put into cannabis, and it's such a positive thing for our industry.
The biggest thing that I see is the shift that is happening every year from the legacy guys to the corporate guys. And the legacy guys who are not adapting to the corporate way of doing business are going to be left behind. And so from our aspect, we now have educational platforms for the hydroponic store owners to help them. It's called the Advanced Nutrient Certified Retailer Program, how to engage with clients, how to make the store more friendlier about all of our products, and how to run a profitable business. On the commercial side, we have a platform coming up. And by the way, November 28th is official launch for the Advanced Nutrient Certified Retailer platform. And we have another one called the Green Team, and that is for the commercial cultivators. Because what we find is the master growers know their stuff inside and out. So then they hire a bunch of guys, and they don't know what to do. And there isn't this crop consistency that they're looking for, the quality. So now they'll have a system. There's tests on there they have to take, and whether they pass the test or not will determine whether they want to hire these guys or not, or take the guys that they have and move them to the next level so they can get that consistency. We've seen this industry move from wanting just a lot of quantity, because a lot of the money guys thought it's just like a weed, and they didn't understand the plant, Now the corporate guys are understanding more. It's about quality of the bud. And so we're seeing a lot more people that were using, let's say, cheap salts, and that's all they're using, are now using higher quality products and different kinds of additives that will produce the type of quality that they're now looking for and what the marketplace is demanding.
You know, I'm so glad you're doing educational platforms, the Green Team, and these community-based targeting legacy markets, or letting people get information. That's one of the things we do here at MITA, especially is we educate the public. We let them know who they are. People will be able to go to Jason Beck, find him on LinkedIn. You also have a podcast too, right?
Oh yeah, yes. Just recently started. It's America's #1 daily cannabis news show. High at 9 a.m. Pacific, high noon on the East Coast. 1 full hour of all that you need to know of what's going on news-wise within the cannabis industry.
All right, maybe do you have a podcast too, or?
All right, Business Outlaws, and we're going to be starting that up again during COVID. We kind of took it easy, and Chris Collins and I are going to fire that thing back up again.
Nice, excellent. But I wanted to talk a little bit about. Oh, we talk. Have you?
I got a podcast too.
You got a podcast
Oh,
too.
All right,
there we go.
There we go.
It's called the Lasagna Ganja Podcast.
The Lasagna Ganja.
Yeah, it's fucking amazing. We're going to launch it in February. We're just doing all the pre-pro right now. I can't wait. I would love to have you guys on
Absolutely.
there because there's a lot that is discussed. We call it Lasagna Ganja, not because it has anything to do with food, but there's so many layers to what we do in the cannabis industry that we're going to explore each and every one of those. So it's going to be good to see.
And I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the legacy market and the transition from the legacy market to the corporate market, because that's such a complex, I don't know what the word is. It's been happening for 10, 15 years now.
Yeah.
Right.
It's going to happen for another 10, 15 more.
Right.
But what is your perspective on that? And I know you have a lot of friends.
Absolutely. No, I have some experience. I can speak very intelligently to that.
I didn't want to dig. It's unshackled though, so we're open. Yeah.
No, my first brand was called Brass Knuckles. By far, we were the first vape company to get as big as
you guys
we did.
killed it with that
Yeah.
brand. You
Right.
just killed
right.
it.
Yeah.
But, what we were able to do with that brand in the traditional market, or the legacy market as people are calling it now, was unheard of. So, there wasn't as many regulations. There wasn't the taxation wasn't as
The over-taxation.
stringent, the over-taxation. So now coming into this market, there's no clear path for either you see the long haul or see the long game and play ball in the legal market, or you just continue to flourish. There's no reason to have the legacy guys come over to. There's no enticing reason for them to come over to the legal side of things. What they need to do is make it so that there is a clear path for them to come over and bring that side of the business and the people that purchase and love their products over with them to strengthen the legal market. But California is a shit show because of the taxation and their lack of accountability to get the bad stuff out of the street and make sure that these things are getting geared towards the people that are actually paying their taxes and bills and running their business the way that the regulations are said to be run. So, there's a lot of work to be done, but we really are the first when it comes to knowing what happens in the legacy market and then making that transition over to, being multi-state operators, doing things legally, paying all of our bills and taxes and whatnot. And it's tough. It's rough for people that are doing it correctly.
I know Jason's ready. He's like,
man,
we have long night discussions over drinks about this stuff.
Dude.
Yeah, I mean, the reality of it is the cannabis industry overall is in a desperate despair when it comes to actually financially being profitable within a cannabis company. I mean, there was just an article a few days ago that 8 of the top MSOs in the country owe the IRS over $1 billion in back-owed taxes.
Wow.
Okay? Now, and these companies are not paying the IRS. They're diverting and creating payment plans because the cost of capital is so high, it's actually cheaper to owe the IRS
just to actually pay them.
As opposed to infuse more capital into your business because of the interest rates are so high.
You get a little closer.
Because the interest rates are so high.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That money's expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
exactly.
yeah. If I can get paid $5,000 on a fucking $500 or $1 million fucking tax debt, let's do it.
Yeah. We need safe banking. Number one, and also two, I encourage everyone to check out the States Reform Act. It's the most sensible piece of legislation that's been introduced in the House by Congresswoman Nancy Mace out of South Carolina. I believe it calls for a 3% excise tax overall, or maybe it's a 5% excise tax overall across the board. It would open it up. We would have interstate trade, and that is what the cannabis industry needs more than anything. California Cannabis is the #1 brand in cannabis in the entire world. California has been supplying the world with its cannabis for the last 80 or 90 years, and there's no reason that it should not continue.
Mike, any thoughts on that, Mike?
Oh, like, they're both right. There's a lot of legacy guys that our industry would benefit from that are not coming in the industry.
No.
They don't want to have anything to do with it.
It's because they can make more money in the
they're
trap
staying
market.
black market, and they're going to stay black market to the bitter end.
Exactly.
Yeah. There's no reason for them to come in. And it's so hard to get politicians to understand that. And the corporate guys to understand that it just isn't a tomato or cucumber or pepper that you're growing. That this, from a genetic standpoint, is a highly sophisticated plant. There's a lot of variance in it, and it takes skills to understand how to grow it to the proficiency to a level that people want to buy it and are clamoring for, like Napalm.
Mm-hmm.
It is wild, the diverse set of regulations, rules, and state by state, country by country that is evolving and developing, and they are way too complicated.
Like Germany's talking about limiting to 15% THC. I'm going, that's a death knell for them.
All that does is just fuel the illicit market.
Absolutely.
That's all that does.
Everything they get wrong, the legacy guys have right, and it just strengthens them. It empowers them to be like, listen, they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
And the legacy guys are the tastemakers.
Right.
They're the ones that are driving the market.
Right.
Exactly. All of this.
They don't get it.
All these THC caps are just the most ridiculous thing. If you're a politician, you're supporting a THC cap, we need to have a conversation because it's not based off of science.
Alcohol's the same way. You get beer with 0 alcohol and all the way up to like Everclear, that's whatever, 90 proof or 180 proof.
You know, it's funny.
You walk in a fucking college party with some O'Douls.
Yeah.
And see what the fuck kind of reaction
I consider O'Doul's hemp.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
So,
yes.
Jason and Xzibit and Mike, you can comment, Big Mike, sorry, and
either way.
comment on this as well. But Jason, you talk to a lot of politicians. I mean, we went through the Rohrabacher Rand Paul connection, and describe their level of knowledge and understanding of cannabis regulations, the cannabis industry, and your experience.
I mean, I think a lot of it depends on whether or not they have a system set up in their state, and then they will grasp how that system works. But the problem is we have this complex hodgepodge of different legalization frameworks in all of these different states. We don't have. That's exactly why we need to have deschedule cannabis.
And deschedule cannabis.
We have to deschedule cannabis. I think everyone needs to know this more than anything. Any form of rescheduling cannabis would eliminate the entire industry as we know it today. Okay, because of the fact, and this is why cannabis has to be descheduled, is because you have the FDA. The FDA regulates everything by the molecule, not by the substance. The FDA already has drug preclusion on THC for Marinol and CBD with Epidiolex, okay? So any form of rescheduling will automatically give the industry into the hands of the pharmaceutical industry and out of our hands.
So how do we get there?
Well, I mean, we have to keep creating the narrative of we have to deschedule. That is not an option to reschedule. Any form of rescheduling. You have the Food, Drug, and Cosmetics Act. Every single cannabis product on a shelf in every single state would fall under the Food and Cosmetic Drugs Act. Every single product. And then for when the FDA regulates by the molecule, if that molecule is in any package, therefore every product would be an illicit product on the shelf in America.
And you know, all these occurrences, these things are going to happen. We need to design an industry, in my little particular perspective, around patients and consumers. They want access, they want innovation, they want competition, they want lower prices. And to me, that involves interstate commerce.
You have
and
to have
I
it,
heard
yeah.
you say interstate commerce, and you say
Interstate commerce, that's the hot thing.
it is like, but there's people that are protectionists in nature, and they have their little control of the supply chain, their little fiefdom. They don't want cultivation. They're hiring lobbyists to protect their interests.
Of course
And
they are.
each state is enjoying their tax revenue, whatever they're getting for that. They're protecting that as well. It's really short-sighted.
So let's talk a little bit, because this is Unshackled, and I like to get to the deep topics. Interstate commerce, I want to get there, because I think that's what's best for the patients and consumers, because they can have access, choice, low competition, everything else. Economics, 101.
When you look at all agricultural products are produced in certain regions that's more conducive to its cultivation. Florida makes oranges. You know what I mean? California, we produce a lot of things here. We have a very fertile environment for cultivating, and cannabis happens to be our #1 cash crop.
Do you find people talking? I mean, you roll around. You guys are some of the thought leaders in this industry. Do you find people talking about this subject, this interstate commerce?
You hear it every once in a while, but the average person, they don't know that much about cannabis.
They're not that sophisticated.
And what you're going to see is home growing. As the economy gets tougher in 2023 and 2024, the home growing market is exploding. Look, they don't want to go to a dispensary, pay the high prices because of taxation.
Right.
They don't want to go to the black market because it's getting more violent and sketchy now because of the economy. And so they just rather grow it at home. How do you want to grow it? You want to grow it with autoflower seeds in your windowsill? Do you want to grow it in your garden? 22 states now allow for home growing, 3 to 6 plants. So you're going to see a lot more of that happening. Or do you want to grow in your basement in a tent, or however you want to do it?
I imagine with advanced nutrients and the products you guys sell, you guys can keep track of that stuff pretty
We
well.
are, yeah. And so we're coming out this spring with home grow kits.
Home grow kits.
Absolutely. Big Mike's Grow Your Own at Home.
Nice.
That's it. Big Mike's Genetics.
We should talk about a collab, Mike.
Nice.
Damn,
with
that's smart.
with
That's
DNA
smart.
Genetics, because you can now buy DNA genetic seeds online here in America.
Yeah.
www.dnagenetics.shop.
Yeah,
and if
shout
you
out.
enter promo code Beck, you get 10% off.
Hey, there you go.
Greenhouse.
That's it.
This is like
The
a
greenhouse
commercial
guys,
now.
the greenhouse guys from Amsterdam, they're good getting into that as well.
Yep.
They're starting to just see an influx of people just coming in for seeds only.
You got Sensi seeds as well. You know?
Yep.
Not before 20,
Yep.
y'all.
Oh, yeah.
Let's get to
Yes.
Aspire to
Thank
go.
you so much,
And there's
Luna.
2 things I want to talk about: your guys' activism, your guys' community involvement,
Yes.
some of the non-for-profits you guys support,
Amazing.
and then I love getting into the philosophical stuff. You guys are all deep thinkers, thinking about interstate commerce, regulations, the movement, the paths of the industry. That's very clear. I love that. But I do want to talk about a little bit about you guys and how we support your organizations and your success, because that success is going to continue. Anybody who advocates for interstate commerce, I got your back.
Yeah.
Okay?
Well, one of the things that we do, we have a charity called Humanity Heroes. We give back directly to the cannabis community, guys who lose their grows and fires and this kind of stuff. We give them
Humanity
nutrients
Heroes.
and cash. And then also to society as a whole. And Xzibit is a big supporter of Humanity Heroes, and thank you very much for doing that. We give away backpacks on Skid Row during the Christmas time.
Yep.
We did 7,000 last year. We're going to do 10,000 this year.
Nice.
We're going to do it the same thing, the Palladium
Yep,
parking
let's
lot on, I think it's December 3rd.
Yes.
And we got this Sunday coming up. We're giving out 600 meals down on Skid Row, and Skid Row is just getting bigger and more gnarly and more dangerous every year. Usually we'd go out in the evening and hand out backpacks. We're not going to do it this year because there's been, unfortunately, stabbings, and they're not treating the volunteers with the respect that they should.
Right.
And so we're just going to stay in, give them out during the day, and we also deliver them to the different missions that are out there, and they distribute them as well.
And the
Shelters for
the
single
best way,
moms.
the best way for people to find out all about all your activity, follow you on Instagram.
Join
website,
humanityheroes.org.
Humanity
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. That
And a big thank you to Xzibit. He brought a lot of attention
Yes.
and brought the press last year, and so we really appreciate you
Yes,
for
no
that.
problem, man.
Yeah.
and
No problem.
eventually we're going to talk about advanced nutrients. but we'll get to that last.
Yeah.
But we got priorities: philosophy, helping others.
Yes.
And then okay. So I know you're involved in this project. Are there
Yes.
any other projects you want to highlight? Community involvement, helping people in some capacity.
I mean, what we do is yes, we thank you for Big Mike for letting us be involved with Humanity Heroes. We are as Napalm, we are expanding into multi-state operations. We are under a bigger umbrella. There's things I really sucked at building this brand, and instead of trying to do it myself, I really brought in people that really understood what they were doing. So I was able to partner with a gentleman named Michael Cook, and I was self-distributed. I was doing the packaging. I was sourcing, all my stuff from China, overbuying, underbuying. It was a fucking shit show. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So what I did is I brought in an operator that understood that side of the business, partnered with my talents and my expertise of building the other brands. And now it's been really good for me because now I just moved out to Vegas. Our corporate office is here.
Nice.
But now he owns a brand too called Buddies, and B brand, #1 brand in Oregon. Washington is doing well. Nevada we're opening up for Napalm. And then we're also going back to Massachusetts. We're going into Chicago, and we're looking at New York as well. So there's a lot of things that are happening. If you want to support us, go to napalmbrands.com, or you can get us on Napalm Brands on IG.
So you guys are currently doing the licensing partnership deal,
No,
state by state?
vertical integration. We only go in places that we touch the plant from seed to sale.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're not.
You gotta control your supply
yeah,
chain.
Quality
we're
control.
not. We're not. That is. Some people find that is an easier way or fast way to market, but it's also a fast way to crash your fucking brand.
Yeah, it takes a lot of investment capital to do these state-by-state plays.
Correct.
That's one of those things. So you guys are controlling the product. That's actually really good. I mean, I always tell people, if you can afford to control it from seed to sale with all the marketing, promotion, quality control, that's the best way to do it instead of entering these wild licensing partnership deals where everybody's trying to screw each other.
No, it's really unfortunate that we have to deal with that kind of landscape. But what we've been able to do is form a group of people that work really hard and really just appreciate where we all come from different industries, and we bring everything to the table and work from that aspect. And we wake up early and go to bed late, and we do it every day. So this has been energetic for me because I get the same gratification from building this kind of business that I do from writing a song or making a movie. It is good to see something come from nothing, like alchemy.
I'm with you. Media USA is heading towards brands because it irks me that there's lobbyists out there that are being hired to be protectionists in nature. And I know what the consumers and the patients want. They want access.
Right.
Somebody in Alabama, somebody in North Carolina, somebody in Arizona wants access to your brand, wherever it's manufactured. That's where we need to get to. And other people are thinking about, this is my niche in the supply chain. This is what the government has given me. I'm going to go lobby and try to convince the legislators to let me control what I have. Even when it goes federally legal, there's still going to be the state-by-state fights because those laws have to change.
Right.
And they're going to be sticking their little fingers in there and trying to control things. But brands like yours and people with your understanding are fighting for what's best for the consumers and the patients.
Correct.
And so MITA, we're heading in that direction to be a brand-oriented organization. Anyone else can join too.
Right.
So, but the mission of the brands is the mission of the people.
Right. And we're not asking for much. Just do good business. You know what I'm saying? We're not asking you to be fair because we know that's out of the fucking question. You know what I'm saying? Just do good business. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's drumming.
Yeah.
Oh, they taking your spot,
they're
bro.
taking sorry, they're warming them up for me. Yes.
So Jason, real quickly, and then we'll get to Big Mike, talk a little bit about advanced nutrients, because we haven't even talked about that yet. We got all these other subjects covered. Community activism, some of the stuff that you're involved in, because I know that you have a variety of projects. And how can people support you in your business?
You can go and shop at Oz in West Hollywood, 7828 Santa Monica Boulevard. Currently, I'm the president of West Hollywood Cannabis Tourism, so we're working on making West Hollywood the premier cannabis destination for cannabis tourism in the world. Also, too, High at 9 News. It's America's #1 daily cannabis news show. We're currently on YouTube. High at 9 a.m. Pacific, high noon on the East Coast.
I'm trying to figure out what Exhibit's doing over there.
I want to light this bitch up.
The
Let's
7
do
gram
it.
joint.
We're at NJ BizCon. How come
let's do
nobody's
this.
fucking smoking weed?
That's what I'm saying. Let's light it up.
He's got a grenade.
I'm with it. Let's light it up. Here we go.
So except for your shop in Santa Monica, the oldest shop in the country?
So I'm the longest continuous retail operator of cannabis in the United States.
That's a pretty good title.
My store in West Hollywood is the oldest dispensary south of San Francisco in the state, I would say.
And you carry his brand?
We do have Napalm, yes.
There you
yes,
go.
we do.
As
indeed.
every dispensary in America should.
Yes, they
Absolutely.
should.
That's what we need to get to. You know what? And direct to consumer.
Yeah.
I'm all with. Well, I think
That'll
the
happen.
direct to consumer. That's with allowing for descheduling cannabis.
We need to get
Yeah.
to direct to consumer. Okay, we might be breaking a rule here or two.
I mean,
I don't care.
It's not
Hey,
gonna be the
hey,
first
listen.
time.
If somebody comes and tells me to stop smoking weed at a weed convention, I'm gonna be fucking pissed.
Yeah. Get it.
I love it.
Get
I love it.
Get it.
So excellent. Except for shopping, are you doing other products or brands?
Yeah, we have a few different brands. Gary Payton, Freeway Rick Ross, Emma and Clyde coming up with Whoopi Goldberg, and so those are going to be being released in a number of different states and markets across the country. So make sure that you stay tuned for those as well.
You know, and I want to get one of the things we're doing with Media USA is something we call the Cannaberry Tales, the stories of the great emerging brands of the global cannabis industry, the differentiators, where they came from, and we're going to dig deep into those brands and understand exactly why they were created by who and what they're doing.
Yeah.
So we want to get some of your brands on that show
Most
a little later.
definitely. Most definitely.
Talk about advanced nutrients just for a second. I know it's
Not sure.
an afterthought.
We're doing our thing. Gotten some new products out.
How can we help advanced nutrients?
Just by allowing me to be here and talk about it. And so, we've got a 3-part powder system now. We got a 4-part powder system. We got 2 new products, Power Up Grow and Power Up Bloom, to be used with powders, because salts will only take your crop so far. If you want to go beyond salts, you have to start manipulating each phase of its development. And we have the products and the knowledge and the know-how, and doing it for 23 years. And we've got the products to do that. So we're just always evolving and taking it to the next level and making it easier for people to grow cannabis.
Support Advanced
Yeah.
Nutrients. They're doing some really good stuff
Thank
for the
you.
cannabis community. Jason, Beck, Xzibit, you guys, I'll give you guys a closing. You guys close the thoughts,
Yep.
closing thoughts, to think of what you want to say. But let me just say, it's been a pleasure to interview all of you guys, thought leaders, philosophers, businessmen, community advocacy. That's my favorite part about this industry, is getting to meet people like yourself. We've all met, but we haven't met before. But nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you
Yeah.
too, man.
We met briefly at G4,
Yep.
and you and I hang out way
Yes,
too much.
we've known each other for years.
We wax
Yes.
philosophical and political policy all the
Yes.
time. So, closing thoughts. Jason, you want to go first?
Basically, the main thing, we got to stay on message, guys. We have to deschedule cannabis. That's really what it ultimately comes down to. We cannot settle for anything less. We have to lower taxes for our businesses in order to be able to survive. It's just a reality. And states should not look at the cannabis industry as just some big cash cow that's theirs and ripe for the picking.
Yeah, that's right.
Mike, any closing thoughts?
Well, it's, to the legacy guys out there. Legacy guys, this is a great industry. You guys should get in it, stay in it, and to understand where it's going, you need to evolve as a human. And you have to put your ego away. And if you can do that, you'll be wildly successful in the new frontier of cannabis.
And we have a legacy guy here.
Yes.
And you've gone through the journey. You know
Come
exactly.
on,
I
man.
can hear
Look,
from what you're
I'm
saying.
I'm on the dark. I used to be on the dark side.
Yeah.
I turned a pager into a storefront, so
Yes.
I turned a pager into a storefront, so
Hey.
yeah,
There you go.
yes.
I always like. I was a prosecutor, 98 to 2010.
Yeah.
I went into economic development in 2011 and cannabis 2012. But in the 90s, I was at Boston University, and my brother was in a fraternity at U of A. We used to ship illegally through UPS and FedEx all the time.
Yeah.
It was kind of fun.
The biggest drug carriers in America.
That's
Both of
right.
them.
That's great. We used to stand.
right.
We used to stand behind the UPS trucks when they pull up to make sure that SWAT wasn't in there.
Yeah,
These
yeah.
Paranoid 20
Hey,
kids.
you did what you had to.
And their vehicles never get impounded.
So, I want to thank you guys for joining
Yeah.
us, and great hope for your brand.
Yes.
And I want to make sure that gets out.
Absolutely.
The word gets out there, and that it will
Oh, it's
become.
getting good now.
Oh yeah, there we go. Now we're
I'm
talking,
worried that we're going
baby.
to get thrown out
Yeah.
of here.
Yeah.
We're-
Oh, don't worry.
Yes.
Aspire's good.
yeah, Aspire.
Yep.
And thank you for Aspire, who won't be here tomorrow, because we're going to be the ones thrown out.
Oh yeah.
Xzibit,
Never.
Jason Beck, Big Mike, one of the best media shekels we've ever had. Thank you all for being here, and have a great MJ BizCon.
Yo, thank you
Thank you
guys.
for having us,
Appreciate
man.
it.
And Luna
Appreciate
from
it.
Aspire back here in the house.
Oh yes.
There you go.
Thank you guys.
It's going down.